Breakaway episode 3. We're kicking this off with how quick Alec can replace a Scicon lens. Before we do, have you done this before?
No, I've not done this before.
I
took a look at it. Oh, you have a...
I'm not joking.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hold on.
okay.
I need to move this out of the way so I can get to it.
Are
Okay.
you ready? I feel like we're in the army, except we're doing glasses, not a 9mm.
What, hands under the table, then ready to go, right? That type of thing.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Can we put an overlay of a stopwatch running while this runs? Don't break it, obviously. Oh, my God. Don't break it. Ah! Never mind all the fingerprints on my glasses now.
You didn't say anything about doing it very well.
21.83 seconds.
I feel like I could do it better, but yeah.
That is how quick you can...
It's not clean, but it's on there.
Yeah, that is horrendous. And apparently this is pink. What do we think?
I think it looks good. Matches your hair.
So crazy thing, and just to be clear, Scicon doesn't pay us any money for this, but I'm really enjoying. Someone said last week they enjoyed the quirky intro of the glasses. So, you know, they have this warranty. It's if your lens is scratched, whatever, there's a lifetime. I'm like, yeah, that can't be real. Like, that's impossible. So if you look at this, it's, okay, there's a bit of dirt on there, but it's like worn through. It's like scratchy and faded quite terribly. Like, it doesn't really graft. Send them a picture, you go through the process. Like, week later, there's your lens.
Really?
I'm not joking.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. Unbelievably, I have another warranty-related issue. They're going to be like, we're never working with this channel. Like, you're a nightmare. And I'm stress testing as well. I'll talk about that in a week or so's time, but that's impressive. I certainly wouldn't have done it that quickly, but 21.83 seconds. Episode 3, Breakaway. Welcome back, Alec, Reichardt, audience.
Nice to be here. Again, let's do this.
So we're going to try and continue a bit of a thread from last week. I said I was going to go away and get some feedback from the streets on doping and running.
Oh, okay. How'd that go?
We're going to talk about the Factor 1 ridden. Got some footage. We'll put it up. It is
Excited to hear about that, actually.
not seen one review. You know, we all see like the authors, the Cade Media, you know, how this whole thing
The
works.
influencers, all that stuff. Yeah.
Nothing in Africa. So I thought it'd be nice to have an African spin on it. Went up to Joburg to ride it. We didn't get given a bike. Carl Mitchell owns one and was kind enough to let me stay over and give it a ride. Now, I do also want to talk about Joburg because I got some pretty cool. I'm from Joburg originally, and there's some stuff I want to talk about there. And then that the Scicon AeroComfort bike bag.
Yeah.
Like, we have to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely one of the easiest bags I put together.
But to use it, it's like, I feel like it's the first time you realize what the slur lounge is, or it was just like breakthrough. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get there. So I want to start with a low, because this really is a low, if I may.
Yeah, go for it.
So I went and spoke to, I won't say who, but it's someone who's been running for many years. He's performed at as a caveat, Olympic level. 10K PB is like 32 minutes, which to me is just like impossible.
Holy.
So like verified opinion, older person, knows a lot about the running market.
That is
like passionately involved, and a younger, very involved, regular top 20 placing runner as well, in the early 20s, so among others. And the word on the street is, I'm like, I don't know if you saw, we spoke about so-and-so, you know, big doping allegations. Like, this is obviously a unique circumstance, and they're both like, no, bro. There is a minefield. There is huge news coming, and there's like a big shock.
So are we talking about like tip of the iceberg type of situation here?
They're saying it is like insane.
Okay.
Which I hate to talk about, but like following on from last week, it's like, oh, let me go dip my toes in the pond and see what the feedback is. And these are people like I deeply trust. Like, these aren't sensationalists that just like ramp up. And the worst of all the feedback, you know, this person who's run at that top level, you know, he's saying it's not necessarily the times, but it's how many of these races they're doing at the pace and the recovery. It all doesn't add up. And the moment that starts to be the case, it's like at elite level, there's major storm brewing. The most tragic, and that is tragic, but at the 20-year-old, let's call it Bob, explained how people at like a weekend warrior level like going to bay-to-bay marathon type stuff are doping to get like a result, like a time.
Just like a PB or like a time that's
Not
like
wanna race-
recognizable internationally?
Local, like I want to best you, like your best 21.
Oh, so it's just like an ego thing then?
It's insane.
Wow.
And so I'm like, I don't know tons about doping, but like, what is it? And we're talking testosterone, like serious shit. Anavar, I'm not the right.
We'll do a
person to
top
talk about
5
all
list.
these things.
You know?
Oh no, it's but that's serious shit with ramifications.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, again, I would love to hear what people have to say about this, and like, no one commented on it, and maybe it's because we don't have a huge running audience associated with this thing, but like,
You thinking we go out in the middle of a marathon with a microphone? Hey, well, are you doping? If so, what are you using? Okay, cool. Well, this guy said he's using that. Okay.
Well, this person was telling me, Bob, that back in the day, both these people have run for years. There was randomized WADA doping test done. So they'd literally just pull people out of a group. Where now it's like, the top runners, and people have engineered this thing. They know how it works, and they went to stop. They know how to hack the system. But apparently, it's not like WADA's dragging their feet. This is like serious shit. It's like it's a real problem, and they reckon there's a big shock and crackdown coming, and there's going to potentially be some tragic news rolling out in the industry. So that was just, I felt obliged to have to follow that through, having gone and looked into it. I don't want to be known for like negative news, but that was the feedback that I got from 2 extremely reliable sources that are invested in the industry.
Well, I think that's really important to mention now, because running has had one heck of an uptick since 2024. Like it's Strava reported like over almost 60% of people are now running that weren't before overall. So you know how we had that big cycling boom from COVID? I think that started to die down, and it taking its place is running. And we'll go into that more
Big trend
on this episode. But I think because running's taking an uptick, there's going to be more eyes on it. There's going to be more scrutiny. And what you've just said, we'll see some of that probably play out a lot. Yeah.
I don't know what to say other than just, it's so stupid, don't do it. Like, it's cheating.
I think it's just funny. It's just for your PB, for an ego thing.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, you must be joking.
That's a lot of a risk.
Yeah. And it's like openly communicated about. It's not like, there was a specific terminology for it that I can't remember now, where it's like, I don't know, the word that they use, the slang term for it. And it's like, oh, do you want to, whatever it is, a lift, or I'm on a lift, or whatever the word.
You want to go around the corner for a stab?
Yeah, it's just like, it's so normalized. Weird.
Just a quick jab.
And just to be clear, this isn't like TRT replacement therapy, people like with longevity specialists. This is like doping for a result. So anyway, I would love to hear from people that are in running, that are invested in it, social runners. What do you think? Like,
yeah, leave a comment. Let us know if you know somebody or you yourself do it.
If you're doing it, please credit anonymous.
Please let us know
why.
What it is, where you get it, and how much it is. Thank you. Just knowing for a friend. Just for a friend. Just for a friend.
Alec, you are extremely controversial.
Cool. Tour Down Under. So they shortened the route because of heat. They were scared of a bushfire, if I remember correctly. But somebody actually had an incident with a kangaroo. Went down, but it actually didn't take him out of the race, surprisingly. He was able to catch back up to the peloton. They shortened it down from, I think, 174 to 131. If I'm incorrect, we put something down at the bottom. But they did that because they took out one of the hills, very famous hill. They were like, hey, no, we can't do this. It's going to be too hot. They even told the spectators, hey, look, even though it's closed down, don't go out there. Like it's going to be, you're going to be proper exposed. Don't do that. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is it a nanny state, or, when you get into these situations racing professionally, is it up to the UCI to put down these things? And you as a racer, you now need to adapt and change given those conditions. And I think that you should. That is part of it. Nothing ever really goes to plan, no matter how much you plan for it. You try and plan for everything. 361 is a good way of going about it. It's such a long race that you can plan for everything. But I got to puncture the first 100 Ks, and I had to nurse that, and it threw everything off. But you just have to learn to adapt, and how you adapt and how well you deal with that situation is what makes you a professional, a racer. So for them to go in and say, hey, look, we're cutting this out. You need to adapt your racing strategy a little bit better. And I think that's what the racers
So are
did.
you for the cut? You're saying they should have raced full distance?
Yes, the temperatures still went, I think, over, they were saying it was going to go over 40.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's really tough. And they're fully exposed out there. There's not too much running away from that. Yeah, especially on those climbs.
I don't know at what point it becomes dangerous. I think that needs to be defined. My impulse was, it's a bit too soft, but I don't know. That was just like an impulse. I don't have a reference point to say, okay, over this heat, at that effort, the risk of X goes up by Y, and it's like tangible. It felt like it was just, oh, this seems like it could be harsh. Let's do it.
But it's difficult because everybody's different. So some people are adapted to it and some aren't. And that could also be part of your race strategy. Like, oh, if they don't take out this hill, like, I win. You know, like, I'm ready to go, but they took it out. So
shortened, not just for heat. And like fire risk, I don't know. It's the kangaroo, though, on that point.
They didn't get it on video.
Looked like it broke its leg.
Yeah,
there is
it
video. That was
they got the end
horrible.
of it from what I saw.
The kangaroos.
I mean, he hopped away.
Is that what took the UAE Navarrez out? Because he's like the top contender. He should have gone on to win.
It was the same team that had an issue before as well.
UAE.
Yeah, so then it was UAE. Yeah.
I mean, that's not just it took out a rider. It took
very
out their
unlucky.
I think what would have been their number one. It's one or two. Right?
But he made it back. He was able to make it back. So at least, you know, he wasn't injured too badly either. They both walked away.
Now, just imagine that happened in South Africa, how we would have turned on our own country.
Would it have been a kangaroo, though?
Well, I mean, it could have been anything. But imagine, you know, like Gravelburn had a lot of interesting animal encounters. I'm all for it. I dig it. But seeing that kangaroo broken leg hop away, that was cock. I don't like that. That's...
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But you can only control so much. And they're kind of out there. And that is just the nature of cycling.
Humans encroaching on wild.
Well, I mean, that's also just Australia.
Wild outback. What did you think of the race overall?
I thought it was pretty good. So towards the end, they started to sprint. Some of them sprinted a bit too early. And one guy took off. And he was... I don't know how he got caught. But coming up behind him and just clearly just mopped him. Overall,
I think the race was
it was a very exciting finish.
Good to see you racing back, sprints where there weren't major crashes. So Jay Vine actually won the stage despite the crash with the kangaroo. So it wasn't Navarez. I think Navarez stayed out.
Okay. Yeah.
But the big news there, and this is important and maybe a good lead into the next point, NSN Cycling was Israel Premier Tech. So obviously loads of pressure, moved away. They didn't just move away from the title sponsor, they actually changed bikes over to Scott. And that's their first win, WorldTour win. So that was quite something.
Oh, that is a very big something.
So that's, the start of a new chapter. You can imagine all the stuff that they're busy talking about. But critically, so there you can see there's that sprint. I mean,
that sprint. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Team's going crazy. Like, I love this footage, like this, and we can put it up. So Kif, like, I love that. I love those in-car celebrations. Like, imagine that vibe. We've obviously, we've sat with Byron, like how much it would mean to them. Like, imagine being in that car. It's so rad. But that would have been a factor one, potentially, had that partnership stuck out. And that would be quite a statement for a brand that's put a very polarizing bike into the market.
That hasn't hit the Pro Peloton yet, has it?
It won't hit the Pro Peloton. There's no WorldTour team on Factor. That's a major, I would say, loss for a team that's gone so deep on a bike designed for the pros. So we'll start to talk about that factor.
That's unfortunate.
They are.
We need some numbers. We need some data for that bike.
Yeah. So and there's actually a lot on it.
We also need to know what the UCI thinks.
Well, it would be deemed illegal by now already. You'd know that.
Yeah, they might say something too small of a head tube or something.
So the biggest brand team riding on Factor is, drumroll, Modern Adventure Pro Cycling, Byron Munson and them.
Okay, so
That's the most.
they'll be the first ones to be hands-on with that in a professional setting.
But it's, I find it extremely unfortunate for them that I mean, so I rode the bike last week. It's Carl's. There's been a lot of, I think the most honest review of that bike is Nero Show. He's just the absolute best. I love that guy. Like he doesn't, there is no, what is the term that they use? There's no shilling when it comes to those guys. So shilling, for anyone that doesn't know, is basically like influencer marketing. So I pay you to drink this thirsty water, so you must represent it in such a light which to be clear, we have no one paying us. Hopefully we'll have partnerships in the future, but baked into anything we ever do with anyone will be our integrity will never be on the line. Like if we think something is shit, like you can be damn sure we're going to tell you that. Because that's the moment that goes out the window, you're absolutely bombed.
Credibility is gone.
He, to me, is the only person that got that bike and gave his honest account of it. So, and having ridden it, he breaks it down in a lot of detail. He's bang on. Carl Mitchell, who's a racer, he wins, SA titles for his age cat. He's competing at a very high level. He's a racer. His geometry, if you look at how that guy sets up on a bike, it's aggressive. And, he's ridden it. I had a limited amount of time to ride the bike. But his first words were, it's aggressive, like that drop to the bars. Remember, the bars are fixed. There's no moving that around. There's no up. That is the height, the width, it's fixed. Really cool. You'll see I got some footage of the bar. Like the bars are so sick. The front forks are the only part I just can't get around. Like I don't like that visual.
It's to have cleaner air for aerodynamics.
And it's so the thing is, that bike is, you can sum it up quite quickly. It is extremely fast. The aero tests that Nero have done, Nero didn't test that bike in the wind tunnel, but there was that mass aero test done, and that was the quickest bike alongside like a Cervelo S5 and the Y1 RS. They're all kind of in that same top level aerodynamic thing. Now I ride the Alves Velith EXP, which is also in that test, and that sits, I stand corrected, but between 5 and 7 watts off that bike in terms of performance, which is nothing to some people. Like that could be your body position could have.
That's you shaving your legs.
Yeah, and there's how you test, but all that, like that is everything or nothing. Now if you're at the top end of that game and you're fighting for, we had Nick White on earlier,
every watt,
and he talks about losing by 2 seconds. And he's like, if I was just one gear up, at that level, it makes sense. And
I just waxed my chain.
The point of that bike, it's so necessary. I am 1,000,000% on factor side in terms of going and producing this bike, because it is uncompromising. It is designed to do one thing and one thing alone, and that is race and go fast. It is, and that is what it does. It is purpose built to do this thing, and it's uncompromising, and all the other things that people are commenting on. Oh, it's harsh. It is harsh. It's not the bike you want to have to go and do all your riding.
No.
It will, depending on your age, I suppose, and your tolerance for pain, and people will say, oh, but you can put in bigger tires, and so all those things equal, on any other frame, it is noticeably stiffer and more uncomfortable, and that's the point. They didn't design it to be comfortable. It isn't the all-in-one, do-it-all bike, which I'm growing to like a lot less, and I think the market is growing to like a lot less. So it is extremely fast. You can feel it, if not just for the position it puts you in. I don't have data. I didn't go into a wind tunnel. Surprise, surprise. It is polarizing in looks, which I am barring the forks on the front. I'm all for.
I think that the looks are just so far on one side, you can't help but appreciate it. It's not like a little bit, which you can be like, oh, why would they do that? That's dumb. It's just, it's so far on the side, you're like, that's very interesting. I never thought of it that way. So I actually kind of like the looks. Even the big space, because Hope actually made a track bike with that same setup.
Exactly right.
If you see it, if you pull up a picture of that thing, the front of that looks almost the same as Factor. So I'm not surprised.
Was purpose-built.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised they did that same thing with the front forks. Now, what I want to know is, can I fit my 2.2 gravel tire in the front of this bike? There's a lot of space.
I mean, you can. I can't imagine why you would want to, because you can't fit bigger than a 32 in the back. So that's going to really limit you. So the front might be bombing down the trail, but the back sure ain't coming with. Yeah, it's such an interesting, exciting bike, and I think for the people that are interested in it, it matches them perfectly. There's actually no other bike they can buy. Like knowing Carl, that is him personified in a bike. It is a perfect match. It is uncompromising. It is loud. It's unapologetic, and it's out there to go fast. It's not there to like make you feel better about your feelings and I'm all for that.
I've got a few questions. One, does this bike come spec'd only as a frame, or does it come spec'd as a complete bike?
So you can buy the frame set.
So then my other question is, would you get this bike and then put mechanical 105 on it? Or is this a bike that you should not do that?
You're looking at a frame set like 140K. I wouldn't be surprised.
So then, you wouldn't have any money left. You'd get a 105 mechanical. You wouldn't be putting Dura-Ace or
catering to the ultra bike territory. And
it is. Hyperbike. I would even say hyperbike.
It knocked on that door. And people they say it's not a hyperbike because, they build up to like 8 kgs. Carl says it's a 7.3.
Weight.
I didn't travel with my scale.
Weight is irrelevant these days.
Well, I rode it in Joburg, and you can do 100 k's there and climb 300 meters. It is the perfect place, barring the potholes, which, Joburg has a way of getting around. For the racing we're doing in South Africa, we don't have big coals. We don't have, here and there you'll find, the biggest climb you're going to do in a road race is like 300 meters. That's not a climb. That's a joke. Unless, Halshoogte, there's no major climbs where that, weight penalty is really going to catch up to you.
Well, you have to pick one side of the spectrum. It's either aerodynamic or weights. Having both is very nice, but you might compromise on stiffness somewhere.
Yeah, look, there's no compromise on stiffness in that bike. That thing's stiff as hell. It's so aggressive. Like you can really feel it. And it's beautiful because, look, let's face it, a guy that has that bike has another bike. Yeah. It's not a one bike sort of garage that you're going to find that thing parked in.
And you have to kind of work
judge
your way
it according to that.
Into it.
Also nice to ride that and then ride your bike and be like, oh, that's quite comfy. It gives you some appreciation for something else out there. But I like the focused nature of it. I'm a fan of the colorway. There's nothing I don't like about it.
It is on the bleeding edge of technology right now for bicycles. What you can do with carbon, what you can do with aero, what you can do with shapes, just everything. And I think it's pretty cool. I think it's nice
that somebody's balls.
Yeah, I'm saying it's nice to see somebody innovating and just putting it out there. And by doing that, it is anything that you do that changes the way that people think is going to be polarizing.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a polarizing opinion, then you haven't done it right. That's how I see it.
What I would love to do is go and get a Y1 RS and see what that's like, because that is within, arguably, their performance error-wise is the same. What if that's comfortable? What if that doesn't have the downside?
We're going to try and get both of them and see, compare times up chappies.
That's a 175 grand frame only. So unless Factor down at our good friends, East City, are feeling extremely charitable, might be difficult. But if you know someone with a Colnago Y1 RS, please let us know. We'd love to.
Either size 52 or 56?
52 or a 56 to 59.
Okay.
I'll fit anywhere in that spectrum. And that is the thing with this bike. That fit is like, you got to nail that.
I've heard.
You get that wrong, you're going to, it's fixed. So
I've read some articles where that bike is hard to set up for some people.
Because their geometry is fundamentally different to everyone else's. Now, Jesse on the Nero show argues that you can get into the exact same position by adjusting things on, your everyday road bikes from all the other brands, where this out the box is putting you in that position, which is quite aerodynamic. There's a very specific place that you want to be. And he's saying you have to adjust on the bikes to get there. With this one, he literally got on it and he was already in that position. And he's like, well, it makes no difference because you can just adjust to get there. The problem is on this, you can't really adjust back. Like, that's the position. It's a race position.
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to get your head around that. So
you're not going to take your Formula One car to go get groceries.
This is a track car.
Yeah, it is. It pretty much is.
That's a flipping cool track car at that. And I'm really hoping that Byron and the team can start ratcheting up some results for them. I'd like to see them succeed. Like, you took a punt, you were aggressive on something. I'd really like to see that rewarded. And it's just tying that back to the Tour Down Under, that would almost certainly have been on that bike. So maybe a bit of a loss there for facts. I don't know what the deal was, how these people come in and out of teams. I imagine it's very money orientated. But that would certainly have been a good start to 2026 for them with a stage win.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Byron and the team are going to rack up plenty of those.
Well, speaking of bicycles and tech and racing, SRAM has released 150 millimeter crank size. So now they have 150 all the way to...
You would put that in.
180, right? Is it up to 180 now? Something like that.
Yeah.
And so now the question is, why? Me personally, I actually started on 172.5 and I worked my way down to 165. I was happy at 170. I had a very bad cycling accident. My hips aren't so great anymore because they've had to rebuild them. So now I'm on 165. And it's actually helped me out quite a bit. So for people who have already been in an accident or don't have the flexibility or are of a smaller stature, this is actually really good news. But yeah, are we going to see 165 be the new 170 and 150 is the new, bougie length? Like, you're not even on 150s. Bougie. I'm not even going to look at you.
Can you say that word bougie again with those glasses on?
Bougie. What, these? Bougie. These are smudged. So
I really want to get Dan and Reese McDonald.
Oh, I'd love to hear their opinion.
Because there are other people, and Dave George actually, as a person who's very passionate about bike fitting, this is their jam.
Oh, 100%.
My personal experience, lower on crank length, not enjoyable. I lose power. I'm not prolific, but I become shitter than my very average level. Makes no difference to me. They can make them 100, it doesn't matter. 170 is like the lowest I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm actually really good at 175, to be honest.
I would have almost said you're 172.5 just because of how tall you are.
And 172.5 is actually the
170 is
170 or 175.
Pushing it.
The in between is, and size. And it's also not, well, I'm tall, it doesn't work, because there are people that works the opposite way around. It is so nuanced, and their opinion on this to me would be extremely valid, because I'm just like, it depends. And they will probably tell you, it depends. Get on a bike fit, do the thing, fit it, and I'll tell you if it's good or not. But to pursue it as a trend and just hoy it on your bike because it's bougie.
You are asking for trouble.
Bad
oh
idea,
no,
man.
My legs hurt. Oh no, my knees hurt. Yeah. It's just like, you can't just start doing these
before
things.
You spend
you need to
$1 on it. Go
get a fit.
100%.
Go get your stuff done. I will tell you.
Dave George, go to Reese, go and talk to them about it. Do not just go and buy them, because
no, don't.
Every time I say bougie,
you will buy them, get the fit. You're not going to get the answer you're looking for, but you already spent money on them, so you're going to try and make them work, and you're going to have a bad time. That's how
I did that with the 170s. I didn't need them. I was just like caught up in the hype. I am impulsive. I did it and I was like, well, that was a waste of money.
I did the 165s because I was told to get them, but I had gotten so used to the 170s that when I put the 165s on, I actually did notice a difference when I'm climbing. It feels like I can't get ahead of the pedal stroke and I can't grind up the climbs. But then over time, I adjusted just a few small things and I was able to kind of overcome that. So there is a bit of a difference.
Sure.
But yeah, don't just go out there and just start buying things. Don't slam your stem. Don't, just get the latest. Don't get a factor one because everybody has one. Go to your bike fitter or your local bike shop. Get the information. Get properly set up. Spend that money to save money later on, because it turns out you might not even need that.
And go faster.
Or you might be going in the wrong direction.
And go faster.
Yeah, and go faster.
Okay, that is ridden. So while we're on the topic of equipment, that bike bag from Scicon, which is the AeroComfort 3.0. So you shot a really cool video assembling it. So you actually built the bag up from scratch.
That was me doing it the first time, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't even practice. That was me just doing it. I just moved the camera around. That was it. I literally read the directions that were on the inside of the box as I was doing
Saw those.
Being a bike mechanic on and off for the last decade, I kind of know a little bit about how it goes together. And some of the bike bags I've been through have been a little bit difficult. You're just like, why would they do that? Why would they put that there? This thing was pretty straightforward. I really only had to look at the directions like maybe once or twice. Everything was laid out perfectly, well labeled. The zippers are nice and sturdy. They're nice YKK ones. It's a pretty easy bag. And I like that you have that frame on the inside. So if you also needed to maybe do some maintenance on your bike, some small things, you could actually use that as a bike stand wherever you end up being to fix something or bleed your brakes or whatnot. So I thought it was pretty nice.
So I don't have a decade of bike building experience, and
You have 2 days.
Yeah, I'm known to be hazardous.
That one
with
tree
an
build you
LNG.
did.
Yeah, which I'm very proud of, and that's still.
I'm proud
runs
of you
today.
too. Good
I
job.
actually need you to help me with the cassettes because once I put it back together, and that's something I want to talk about.
Did it come off?
We finished the ride coming back from Joburg now. My flight was at 9:30, and I'm like, shit, I'm going to put this thing in this bag for the first time ever. So I intentionally didn't want to practice. Wanted to come from the ride, put it into the bag as a non-mechanical person. So it's wheels off, bike goes on, there's these 3-axle things, put that on there, derailer off, goes into a little bag. I didn't even take my shoes off, cycling shoes off for my helmet. It blew like minutes. For me to say that it was easy, it's easier having 2 people just to balance the bike to get on the 3 axles.
Yeah,
absolutely doable as a single person. Just like amazing. And it's so I'm going to spend hours going through it. So, and this sounds like an ad punt, but that bike bag is stupid easy to get your bike into. Tons of space. You can put other shit in there. Loads of instructions. The protection. It's okay. So excellent product. Why does that matter? Is the other way that you have to go around these things. So I historically, and this for me is more important, going to Joburg, I never take a bike with because I'm like, what a fucking loss.
It is. It's a nightmare.
Because your options are the other bike bag options, which is not that easy. I did it when I went to Europe, and it's like a 3-day bike building course to get your fucking bike into that bag.
You almost have to practice a few
internal
times.
cable routing, so you don't have to move your handlebars and this thing. My C-type stayed exactly the same. Wheels off, derailer, which is 1 bolt in. That was it. The other, I actually traveled with Candace's bike because it's a Bianchi, and I went to Italy, and I broke the thingy, whatever, had to go to a bike shop in Monaco. Bianchi dealer in Monaco, so you can imagine. It's just like ching, 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 ching.
At least they had the parts though.
It ruined like 2 days. I had to hire a bike, and it's just like, it put me off traveling with a bike like forever. And then that stays with you, and it's like, so that's the one thing. The other is you box your bike. So you go to any bike shop, typically they'll box your bike for like $150, where they put it into a big bike box that they come in, and they'll package that for you. They'll make it, I've never had a bad experience there in terms of them packaging it. But then you got this big fucking bike box. Then you get to the airport, and it's on a trolley. It is the ones that I traveled that actually didn't fit. So we had to cut the bike box down to get it through the little things. The guys were like, sorry, we can't take it. It's just a nightmare. It's just like panic anxiety. Then you get to the destination. So you're like pulling the thing on the floor, and it's just a loss. It's just, and what it did is, and my point is, it made me not travel with a bike. So when I viewed travel, like I'm going to Joburg for 2 nights, I'd just be like, oh, I won't take the bike. I won't ride those 2 days. Now, this either matters to you or doesn't. Where now, I'm like, I can always take the bike. It's because it's so easy. The ultimate thing is those trolley wheels. Just pushing it through, your normal bag that you've got the 4 wheels on. You used to have to pull them like that. At night I got the 4. So this thing you just push. You're just like gliding through the airport. You take it to the thing. It goes through. It fits. It's just effortless. I will travel with my bike even on a little trip now where I maybe wouldn't have. And that's where I'm like, maybe in the market for a bike bag or not, whatever. But if you travel and you're never really thinking like, I'll take my bike with because it's a loss. It's a higher ones. Also, you hire a bike, let's be honest, you normally get something shit. Mechanical 105. It's not like, it doesn't inspire you to ride. This rewrites that for me. That for me is flipping cool. I never thought I'd be so pumped about a bike bag. It's just so flipping impressive. So, we mentioned before, we've got a gravel and we've got the road bike bag. And Scicon's happy for us to blow them out to you, the audience. So if you're going, and I now literally mean anywhere, like if it's a 2-hour flight to Joburg, if you're going to Durban, you're there for a night, like take your bike with and go and explore that local scene. and go and see what it's like to ride in a certain area, because that's like the whole point of this thing. That's why we love, we'll take your trainers, it's slightly different, but like we love riding our bikes and we love exploring. And you listen to Nick, again earlier this morning, he talks about this prolific race career. He's like, but it's all about adventure, where your bike can take you. And this is a key thing that enables that before it was just like, it wouldn't even cross my mind. And it's now, it's available. You can pick it up at the Cape. We can help you put your bike in for the first time if you want to. I'm so much more excited about that than what I was until I used it, because I was low-key expecting this thing to be a lust. Like, fuck, I'm not gonna use it, but it's stupid easy. The one thing I would say that is, and I don't know why this is, but like I always find, so when you put at least on the Shimano, that derailleur back on, you've got to have that little lip above, on the back, so it must be up at the top. But I do find the gear, there's a little bit of a but when it goes back on, and I think it's just like a micro adjustment type thing, which on SRAM is easier to do. So I'd say that the only thing you maybe would need to be a little bit proficient with is how to do a micro adjustments on your derailleur through the Shimano app. I'm imagining that's what I'd need to do to fix that problem.
You need the app for Shimano. For SRAM, you just hold down the button and click. It's pretty straightforward. So
I'd need the app for that. I'm going to ask you to help me with that.
Yeah.
Something I'd be meaning to do. And then I can also just, like, that is literally, and obviously the inserts for your brake pads. So if you touch those, they don't stay clamped closed.
Yeah, you saw I put my old business cards in there in the meantime.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that is, what a product, what a bike bag.
Yeah.
Please contact us and take us up on this, because it'll blow your mind, like how easy it is and how much access it's going to open up for you in terms of places that you're really going to.
Well, I've got a big trip planned for Ireland in July, so we'll see how that goes. It's got to be fully loaded.
Don't plan your trip in July.
Yeah, don't plan your trip in July. I already got my eye on one of them.
If you miss my birthday, I'm going to be upset. One thing I want to just talk about, which is worthwhile, is, you talk about your bike, it takes you places. I'm from Joburg. I haven't ridden there in a while. And I'm so glad that I went up and took my bike with. I would have always ridden the Factor 1 anyway and had the chance to do that. But now I could join. It's called Bicycle Line in Alphen Park, which is like borders between Boksburg and Benoni. I can hear everyone like rolling their eyes. Like, I can't tell you how eye-opening in a good way it was to ride in Joburg again. We rode 3 to 5 in the afternoon on the one day. They ride quite early in the mornings on the Thursday and the Friday. Bicycle Line has, like, I'm sure there's some groups in Cape Town that do it, but it's not the norm. Where in Joburg you have like groups, you have average speeds, people call everything out. Like Cape Town, you just point, they shout hole. It's like quite a shock to the system.
Quite a bit of holes, I've heard.
But the people are just so lacquer. Like it's I forget it, and every time I go back, I'm reminded like how invested everyone is randomly for everyone else there. That it's like overtly friendly. We got back to the Bicycle Line as a coffee shop, so you start and end there. Man, there must have been like 60, 70 people there.
Wow.
It was humongous. Like all back there. Bullies, one thing I will say is Joburg needs to get young people on bikes. Like, you see groups of females, guys in their 20s riding. I didn't see a lot of that there. It was mostly people that are like mid-30s, but the majority bullies. So that's the one worrying thing that I noticed there. But like, man, just everyone, just like the nicest people. And a lot of people there mentioned, they're enjoying the podcast and thank you for what you're doing, which was like really special. Like, thank you to everyone that took the time to say that. But there's definitely a gap. We need to cover the bike shops and stores and that kind of stuff there, because there is this whole subculture there. We've done a really good job here. We know we're near done here. Like, we haven't even got into the northern suburbs yet. Like, there's still lots we need to do here, but we're going to put on the map a Joburg tour. One, you need to go and ride Joburg, so you know what I'm talking about.
I've never even been, period.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. The being at 1,500 meters sucks. My heart like jumped out of my chest on a 50-meter climb. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's right. It's up above, isn't it?
Hectic.
Okay.
I couldn't believe how hectic that actually was. But just the most incredible people. No one hooted at us on the roads. People just drove around. There was no aggression from road users to us. I'm talking 3 to 5 through an industrial area, around the airport, suburbs. Like, I couldn't believe how much that stood out, which was insane. The roads are wider. Potholes suck. Like, honestly, if Joburg just gets their shit together and fixes their potholes, gets the infrastructure right, they got so much going. It's such a good place to be. It's like, you've got to leave, got to get out of Joburg. Like, Cape Town's the only place to be. Nah, Joburg's fucking cool. And it's such a nice place to be. And there's such a powerful, wonderful, awesome cycling community there. And running, but that cycling community is unreal.
Right on.
Big supportive groups. Like, we've got to go there. And we've got to go and cover the bike shops. We've got to go to Northcliffe Cycles. We've got to do Bicycle Line. We've got to do Finish Line. We've got to say,
we take the podcast on the road and we just go from bike shop to bike shop. Meet us there and we'll do quick fire interview things.
So if we can figure our logistics out on that, if the guys in the different areas are happy to put us up, let us stay with them, get a really in-depth, like, behind the scenes view of them, and we just get ourselves there and back. I'd love to do that. And I'd
very keen.
To anyone that is watching this from Joburg, please let us know if you actually would like that, or if it's like, no, you two blonde weirdos with pink lenses stay in Cape Town. But yeah, man, I think you'll be amazed at how different it is. And not one's better than the other, but it's just so interesting because it is a different cycling vibe to here.
Yeah. I can't wait.
The biggest mistake you'll make in Joburg is not leaving a bulletproof vest behind or packing your 9mm. It's underestimating a bully with some weirdly colored socks and off-matched kit, thinking like you're going to take this oak. Oaks are strong there. Like deceptive. You know, like in drag cars, you get sleepers. Like Oaks that have these old clapped-out looking cars, but they've got like 1,000 horsepower underneath. I know you know what that is. That's like the whole of Joburg. It's like, check this oak with like secret socks on and like ancient bark and this old like faded kit, and you think, you got this oak. You don't got shit. That buddy will show you a thing or two. Anyway, Joburg was amazing. So good to see everyone, and thank you for the support.
So I mentioned earlier that running is taking off a lot more. Definitely we saw an uptick last year. This year, everybody's signing up for a marathon, including you. You're trying to do one at the end of every month. A lot of people are complaining now that these running clubs, they're too big and they're taking up the road and not leaving any room for cyclists or cars. And I just thought that was hilarious. Yeah. But there is a big uptick to it. And it's interesting just that people are noticing this now, but there's always been a run club. It's never really been like an issue. I think that the most interesting thing I read in an article is a lot of people are now using run clubs as a way to date. So you go to these things and you just run along and you just start meeting new people. I thought that was really interesting. A lot of apps like Strava and Garmin have a lot of runner-specific training programs, like hyper-focused on that. But the backlash on it is just like, these groups, there's just everybody, the influencers are taking photos and the pace is just out of control and it's just all for show and it's taking the purity out of running. It's like, no, it's just, you just never noticed it because now it's popular. So I thought that was really interesting. And we talked about the doping before. Unfortunate, but I think there's going to be a bit more scrutiny just because there's more popular. Running is a lot more popular now.
Massive.
And you're going to see it continue to grow, I think, even into next year. This isn't something that's just going to run off real quick.
We mentioned it in in the last one where we said it's just really important. People sell, media sells stories, they sell, generally speaking, negativity because it gets engagement. Humans are unfortunately wired the way they're wired. And I think it's just important to not over-index on the media channels that are carrying on about this. Leave the Instagram post that has 10,000 comments about people that aren't active and just sitting bitching and moaning about whether it's a run club or a cyclist, it doesn't matter. Like, just ignore that stuff because it actually really is just noise. It is the most important thing. Like, I would hate for someone to lean into this and in any way, shape or form feel even slightly discouraged to go out and run or cycle because some miserable person that doesn't exercise feels like they own the road because they're in a car. It's just like, I actually couldn't care. Like, that topic infuriates me.
But it gets to some people, unfortunately, and then they'll just stop running because they think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
it's unnecessary.
Almost don't
do it because you like to do it.
Don't give it a platform. Don't give the whinges a platform. And in the moments, like the main thing is how do you convert people that aren't doing this to start doing it? It's not about trying to have, this morning's ride. And it's like, this doesn't happen. Like Cape Town is going through a bit of a phase. And Oak stopped, emergency lights on next to our group to have like, almost like wants to confront and get involved with someone. Like he was dying to get out of his car and like do something.
What? Like in a negative way?
Yeah, this is at 5:30 in the morning. Like, can you start your day being that enraged because you were held up? He stopped at a red robot where we were all stopped. So you weren't even, there was no issue within your day. You're just angry. And anyway, to stick to the point, what I do love is that people are going outdoors, doing something active, and that's where they're connecting.
Yeah.
Please, God.
That's the point.
Let more people go out, do that, and find true love and connection, because I think that's a beautiful thing. And that is like, that should be publicized as a story that humanity is flourishing.
Get
people
off
are going
the phone, out of the car, go do something.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm like so for that.
I don't know how you can find a negative in that.
From Heart Bay Leopards actually spoke about that specifically, like how, people are looking for connection.
Oh, yeah.
It's become awkward. There's this digital thing. And we're talking like late teens, people in their 20s. Let's like be real. But even people beyond that. And it's like, well, where do I meet a like-minded person? It's like, well, now there is run clubs. Now there is, cycle clubs. You've got cafes like ours where there's run and cycling things going from there. I'm not saying there's like tons of single people and it's like a hookup spot.
That's the tip. If you're single, run club. Just saying.
But you can go to a place where people are like-minded and you don't have to surf around a chat room. I dig that. I'm like, do more of that. One thing I do want to just mention, and it's not really related to that, but it is. Saturday was a beautiful morning in Cape Town. No wind. It was majestic.
Oh yeah. No, I did a big ride that day.
Yeah.
That was a very lovely, like you were able to, there was not that much wind, but it was still cool. No, it was very nice.
My wife is back into cycling. She wants to do the 361.
Okay, that's good.
She's out and wake up with this magnificent little daughter of mine. I'm like, let's go spend the morning on the beach. I have a banana here at home and we can have it on the beach. So like, well, let's go somewhere where we can see mommy cycle past. We drove to Camps Bay because then you should come past there. Cute, right?
Yeah.
Mom didn't see me. Only like down the road. She was like, so that part didn't work out, but we had a super cute morning out on the beach. Point to my story. I don't know the last time a runner or a cyclist went and drove, particularly that road, there and back, at the time that cyclists are running, and cyclists are cycling and runners are running, and drove their car. Because you're always going to be out riding on a beautiful day like that. And going over Chappies, going to Camps Bay and coming back as a driver, not infuriated by having to wait behind people, like whatever, I couldn't care less. I am amazed, mind blown, that there aren't more serious accidents on that road. It is, as a car driver, it's like panic stations. You've got, particularly on Chappies.
Yeah, no, I was actually driving.
Cyclists going up, cyclists avoiding runners, cyclists bombing down.
That was when they had the marathon going on, right? Was that Saturday or was that Sunday?
No, there was nothing special going on. There was not lots of cars on the road. I'm just saying, as a motorist, I drive a bakkie, so yeah, I could have had a smaller car. Driving on our roads in Cape Town, Chappies, but all of them, it's a problem. And I think, do yourself a favor as a cyclist or as a runner, and the next time it's a beautiful morning, particularly Saturday or Sunday, instead of going running and cycling, go and drive your run or cycle route and just get some perspective. I'm not saying that motorists are right.
Oh, that's a good
we're right.
Yeah, I agree.
But I had a major perspective moment. I will never, ever descend Chappies going from the lookout point back towards Heart Bay ever again the way I normally would. Ever again. You are sooking for shit.
Yeah.
It is so fucking sketch. Cars do not have, there's nowhere to go. And I believe that with the easy targets, cyclists, runners, which eventually will find that we're all on the same team, although they themselves, bicker with one another. But the problem is an infrastructure one. There is no space.
No, there is none.
And a car coming down, a car coming up, a runner going up, a cyclist going up, what do? There's no manual for this. And you're hoping that humanity and common sense and goodwill prevails. But we're also living in a world where people are stressed and there's tons of shit going on. And you've got places to be. And it's actually extremely nuanced. And the only glimmer of hope we have is that people have context, they have understanding, and they see both sides of that coin, because it's not as straightforward as motorists are just all dickheads. It actually is. I was like,
well, you say that. I was driving on, I think it was Sunday. When did they have that marathon that goes up Red
there's
Hill?
one every day now.
It's one every day.
Which one?
Anyway, I decided that
I think it was
morning
Sunday.
I wanted to drive to the Cape Point Reserve Park and just do laps in there. Just have a nice quiet morning. It took me an hour and a half to get there from Hout Bay. I forgot that they were having a marathon race, and it goes along a lot of the main roads down there, especially through Simonstown. Coming up through Chappies in the morning, I don't recommend ever driving at that time on the weekend. It is hectic. And I will say it does add a lot of perspective that you do need to, as a driver, be a bit more patient. As a cyclist, you do need to understand, you need to try and use the shoulder as much as you can as well. Both parties have to work together. One is not better than the other. I mean, I found myself stuck behind groups that were all the way in the other lane at some points. I was like, yo, let's go. And then I found groups that were just single file the entire time. I was like, okay, that's cool. But either way, you know, there is space as a driver, and it is your responsibility as a cyclist as well to be patient, to understand that you're not the only one on the road.
And when a car comes past you, if like everyone did this, I reckon you'd see a drop. When the car comes past, whether you're inconvenienced or not, like you know when there's a car there, just pick your hand up. You know, there was a moment today we were coming up to an intersection, the car, actually a cop who normally hoots at us as well, they're on Beach Road. And they're kind of like, you could see they stopped and like, no, just go, because the group had split. And I can count on 2 fingers the amount of people that when that person did that, turned to the person and thank you. Everyone just goes like yeah, of course you're supposed to stop. Like, just say fucking thank you. Put your hand up and just thanks. Acknowledge the person coming past. And again, this isn't me siding with motorists, but there's so much that can be done to diffuse the situation. I've found every time I put my hand up, knowing there's someone behind, and you can hear when they're like revved and irritated, it just diffuses it. Like,
I try to, whenever we're coming around like a blind turn, I'll be like, hey, you can go. I can look around the corner ahead of you. You're good to go. But like, they don't see that. But I'm just like, I'm trying to do my good part here.
There's something in there. There's definitely something in there. But yeah.
Anyway, cool. If you're a cyclist, let's be nice. If you're a driver, let's be nice. Let's work together. We can do this.
So we're getting to the point we need to close this thing off. I've been racking my brain on what our interactive segment on the show is. So Nero have got Doggle Fast, GCN have got Hack Bodge. Everyone's got their thing, and I don't want to copy them, but I would like to have an interactive thing. Now, our purpose is based on the foundation of wanting to tell stories because they matter, because stories do matter.
Okay.
So what I would like to try is, if you have a story, and that might be, I rode my bike this morning and I saw this, I went on a run and I did that, I ran a PB today, whatever. It may not even be running or cycling related. If you have a story, if it's news related, if it's tech related, whatever it is, take a video, send your video to us of what that is, and we feature it in the show. So it's the news feature snippet of the show from the viewers. So we'll overlay that. So obviously we'll have to send some sort of consent form to make sure that people are happy with that. And we'll play try and keep it to like 1 minute to 2 minutes. We'll play your clip. You can, whatever it is, and we can then discuss what those points are. So we've got no idea what we're going to get. It can be story-based, it can be tech-based, it can be whatever it is. Yeah. But we'll have like a 10-minute segment if we can, where we review some of those. You can email them through. You'll see our details on the website. You can chat to us on Instagram. We'll figure out a way to get those through. If you can, have it landscape for us. Alec will give you all the details, 24 frames per second, and. It actually really doesn't matter. Just send it through.
Yeah, just send us what you got.
And we'd like to use that to start bringing an interactive element to this. Kind of like how the radios will play voice notes in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll have like video and we can then discuss that stuff. And that can be our new bike. It can be, hey, Alec, what do you think of my rig? It could be whatever it is. It's like, because stories, your stories, are the ones that matter. And we can't profess to want to tell them and give a platform to them and not have something that does that. So what do you reckon?
I think that's a great idea. Let's push forward with that. If you guys have anything you want to send in, we'll put an email or a WhatsApp at the bottom, and you guys can just start giving us your submissions.
Yeah. Closing out this episode, well done to everyone who did the Wildlands race this weekend. We'll put the results up on screen. We've got those. Super fast race, tons of people finishing on like 38 average, not as much climbing. So like a fast race, loads of good feedback. So well done to the organizers and to everyone that took part in that. The marathons, the myriad of them. Well done to everyone there as well. I want to kind of use that, submit your video as like the feedback part of that. Like, how did your run go? How did your marathon go? How did your race go? But yeah, well done to all those participants there. Probably the most important upcoming events there is going to be, for anyone who doesn't know, Idris was the guy knocked down in December by the drunk driver just after Camps Bay, which we were talking about earlier. There is a support ride on Sunday in honor of him to help raise awareness. There's a follow car. We'll put up the Let's Ride, are kind of like owning the organization of this event. So we'll put up their post that talks about where it starts, where it ends. It's not going to be super fast. If you can be there, like, please be there. It's extremely important to him, to his family, and to start bringing about change. People will talk on the day about, road manners and safety. I had hoped to do the first monthly marathon. I'm going to move that to Saturday for anyone that wants to join me, try and running 42 Ks. I had a 21 this weekend. I'm almost certainly not going to make 42, but I'm going to try. But Sunday, really important. Nothing else really matters other than trying to be there for that. So we'll put those details up. And if you have any questions around that, DM us. Instagram is a great platform that we all monitor the comms of. But Let's Ride, Kevin from there is kind of taken this one under his wing. So
yeah,
shot Kev, and let's get out there and support. Anything else your side?
Yeah, one last one. Hoey broke the 800-meter short track record.
I did see that.
Minute 42.5.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane. That's
doping.
Okay. Yeah, that is just
that's ridiculous.
Incredibly fast. So
is that the bombshell you're ending off on to make me feel bad about my marathon on Saturday? Or
I mean, you got a little catching up to do, is all I got to say. What that does show is, if you want to be quick and fast, is you need to not just do the long endurance stuff. You need to do the short, punchy stuff as well.
I'll smoke Hoey on the marathon.
He's got you in the 800 meters. Past that, he's got nothing on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, man. Thanks, Alec. Thanks, Jacquard.
Thank you.
Thank
you, everybody. Yeah. Till next week.